Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this latest WWE NXT breakdown and review video. There's so much that you need to know about if you didn't watch NXT. There's so much that happened tonight. It was a really, really good show. So let's get straight into it. We started with Toxic Attraction. Toxic Attraction cutting different promos. Mandy was saying that she's beaten everyone, obviously coming off her win last week against Alba Fire, kind of making out she had done it on her own when we all know she hadn't. We saw Isla Dawn return at the end of last week's show. And so as a result, she was saying they've had to now make a new match type to find my next challenger. She's obviously talking about that new match that's going to debut at Deadline. And obviously we spoke about that last week, but she was just kind of talking about that, kind of reminding people that that's coming up. Toxic Attraction, GG and JC, they were talking about the tag titles. They obviously sound like a broken record. They've wanted those back for a long time. And of course, if you're going to talk about the tag titles, the tag team champs are going to come out. So Kayden and Katana came out. They started, laying into Toxic Attraction. This kind of going the way that you expected it to go. Headed towards a brawl. They got in there, and this is clearly building towards a match between GG and JC, going after those tag belts. We know that Mandy's next challenger is going to come out of that Deadline match, so we kind of know what's happening. We know where everyone is. This was an all-right open. It was fine. It served its purpose, and that then we could move on. So we moved on to our first match. Our first match was going to be Cora Jade taking on Wendy Choo. Cora Jade cut a little promo backstage as she was heading to the ring. I wasn't crazy about it. I couldn't quite hear it. I thought the sound and the production was just a little bit off, which is unusual for WWE. But it was nothing. I mean, she was just saying a few words before she walked out into the arena. So she came out. Wendy Choo came out. They had a match. It was pretty good. It was pretty intense. This feud has been built up over a few weeks, of course. The way the match ends is Cora Jade grabbed the cup that Wendy brings down, chucked the drink. We still don't know what drink it was. I think it's Lilt, but we're not 100%. Clearly, you can see it's like orange in color. Maybe it's urine. I don't know. But it was thrown in the face of Wendy Choo. And that meant that she obviously was blinded. She went down. Referee counted. And look at Wendy afterwards. Look at this. She loses the match. She's drenched. She's humiliated. She cries so hard that her fake eyelashes come off, fall onto her cheek. I mean, it really is a bad look. It's a bad day at the office for Wendy Choo. Next up, we were backstage with Grayson Waller and Duke Hudson. Grayson is saying, "Look, mate, you can drop the act. It's only me, yeah. You're gonna attack them. You're gonna turn on them. What's your plan? What's the game here?" And Duke was like, "No, I am a member of Chase U. I think Grayson said, "You're gonna show your true colors eventually." And Duke said, "My true colors are black and red." I thought that was a really good line. So, obviously everyone is doubting Duke Hudson. Everyone doubts that Duke Hudson's intentions are good. But even the heels, he got approached here and he was standing firm. This was good. So, nice little moment between these two. This, look, I'm not down on this. I'm not, because I really appreciate them trying to put some genuine humor onto the show. Javier Barnel, who I think really needs this type of gimmick. I think this is right. Basically, he had a list of names of people that he wants to fight. And Mackenzie was going down the list and she was like, "Well, this person's retired. Elon Musk. You want to fight Elon Musk?" And of course, he's like, "Yeah, because of the blue tick thing." And he's like, "I've got 2,000 million subscribers, followers on social media. I should be verified anyway." And, he was trying to have some fun with it. I must admit, I thought some of the jokes just didn't really land. But I like this for him. I think if we can just actually make it funny, then we might get somewhere. So, this was all right. I liked what they were trying to do. Then we saw other people questioning Duke Hudson. This time it was pretty deadly. Again, he stood firm. He says that, no, he is fully on board with Chase U. So this became a big brawl, a big fight, which would have big repercussions for later in the show. Then we went to Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile taking on Kiana James. And she absolutely destroyed her. Ivy Nile looking fantastic here, looking really, really good. You can see that after she was victorious, in the background, Fallon Henley making her way down. Obviously, Kiana James and Fallon Henley have been engaged in a bit of a storyline feud. So she would pick up the remains and they would get into it. But what was more interesting than Fallon Henley coming down was the fact that the Creed brothers came down. So the Creed brothers came down after the match, and they were saying a few words, saying how Ivy Nile has been overlooked for too long, and she was like, you know, proud about that, and she was nodding along. But very quickly, they turned their attention to Indus Sher, and they started talking about themselves, and they started talking about the tag division, and they took the spotlight away from Ivy Nile, and you could see Ivy Nile was not happy about that. She was frustrated, and understandably so, to be honest. You can understand why she was upset about it. So here you can see like her just having her words. Like she was constantly saying, look, I'm pretty banged up. And, you know, when they were talking about her, she was happy. But as soon as they started talking about themselves, then, you know, she was getting a bit frustrated. But I get it. I'm on her side. She just won a match. And like these two come in and take the spotlight away from her. So I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know if we're going to split up Diamond Mine. There's clearly some issues there. So something to keep an eye on. Then we just got a little Isla Dawn segment. This was pretty fun. I don't mind Isla Dawn. I mean, I don't want this going supernatural. That's not the kind of thing I'm into. I'm sure many of you out there don't mind if it does, but just personal taste. It's not the direction I want this to go, and I'm a little bit worried that's what we're leaning towards here, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. She's got a cool look, so we'll see how this plays out. Then this was really good. This was really good because we had Duke Hudson backstage. He'd just been in a fight, obviously, with Pretty Deadly, and he was saying like, you know, he's in so much pain. He couldn't really get the words out, and Andre Chase was talking to one of his students, and basically Duke Hudson's like, I've got us a tag title match tonight. And as soon as he says that, the crowd, you can hear them erupt. It was a brilliant moment. Andre Chase turns to his student and he's like, why are you still effing in here? And, you know, he's like getting all excited. We've got a tag title match to prepare for. It was really good. Chase University has clicked. I don't know if it's just been in the past few months. I mean, Thea Hale has been a big addition for me. She really has injected some energy into this. Duke Hudson coming in as well has made it even stronger. This is funny. It's interesting. It's some of my favorite stuff on the show. It has clicked. It is working. I am loving it. Sign me up. I was desperate for these two to win the tag titles tonight. Then we got SCRYPTS. Oh, if anyone asks you who your new favorite wrestler is, or even just your favorite ever wrestler, and you don't say SCRYPTS, you're lying. You must be lying. How can you watch this man and him not be your favorite ever professional wrestler? Yeah, I mean, look at this outfit. Wild. He's like a funky executioner. Of course, it's Reggie. It's Reggie of 24/7 fame. He is SCRYPTS. So SCRYPTS making his way down to the ring. He would walk around the barricade. You can see the crowd in the background. Absolutely electric. They were absolutely mesmerized. Kind of really bringing back thoughts of, you know, the drama of the streak when that almost ended, or when John Cena went to ECW and the crowd were on their feet. If Cena wins, we riot. That kind of enthusiasm, you can see it's evident. It's evident. You don't need to just take my word for it. Look at the fans. Look at the fans. So SCRYPTS was doing all SCRYPTS things where he was flipping all over the ring, and he would pick up the victory. As soon as he would win, he had a letter. Don't know what it says. Hopefully, someone on social media has zoomed in and managed to get the letter in. That's the sharpest I can make it, to be honest. So I don't know what it says. I'd love to know what it says. But basically, he left that for his victim and then walked away. So there we go. SCRYPTS has arrived. We believe it to be Reggie. We don't know for certain. But yeah, big debut of your new favorite superstar. Then we went to this. This was, I mean, I don't even know what to make of this. There are parts of the show that I think were a downer. This was a downer. So they talk in riddles, but not interesting riddles. And Ava went out. She selected someone from the crowds. He came into the ring. He just happened to look jacked. And basically they said, like, you are going to be our sacrifice. She gave him a hug. She dug her nails in, stared at the camera, and planted him through the table. Not just her, of course, all of them. So it wasn't much of a sacrifice. Like, he literally just got put through a table. Like, I don't know. I don't find this intriguing. I don't find this entertaining. I don't know what to make of this. I would imagine a lot of people would probably have this as one of their biggest downs of the show. But there was still some moments here that I enjoyed. I still had fun with it. But yeah, not my favorite section. Then we got Trick Willy. Trick Willy backstage. So Trick Willy was talking to Mackenzie, and Wes Lee would arrive. Of course, our main event tonight was Wes Lee taking on Carmelo Hayes. And basically, Wes Lee was like, Carmelo Hayes is good, and Trick's like, he's the best. And Wes was like, so he doesn't need your help tonight then? And basically, Wes got to the point where Trick Willy agreed, basically, that Carmelo could do it on his own. So good work by Wes Lee. And he kind of tricked Trick Willy into not being at ringside for the main event. Then we went to this match. This was Ivy... No, not Ivy Nile. Zoey Starks. Zoey Starks taking on Soul Ruca. So she would pick up the win. Pretty straightforward for her as well. Afterwards, it's worth mentioning that Nikkita Lyons would come down, of course. Then we saw this. This was backstage. This was Von Wagner. He seems to be having a good time with Blade and Enofe. In the background, look, those guys must have been there for a reason. This whatever this group is, this collection of people that were just standing around, like, I don't know why they were there, but they were very obvious, and I've got a feeling we might see them again in the future and next week's episode and whatever, so maybe keep an eye out for them in the future. But they were in the background of this. Basically, Von Wagner just destroyed these two. He even ripped the tank top, which was heartbreaking. Probably the biggest heartbreaking moment of the show was the tank top being ripped. So, yeah, I don't know. Is he going to get into a feud with these two? I don't really understand. But either way, it was intriguing. This was also intriguing. So this was Dempsey. He was talking about the greats. He was talking about Robinson and Gotch. And he was talking about how he trains exactly like them. And he prides himself on being a proper professional wrestler. He doesn't bother with Instagram and all this kind of stuff. He came across really cool. I really liked this. I thought it was a brilliant video. Then we got to our match. Chase U taking on Pretty Deadly. I had to include this. It's the most savage sign I've ever seen. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Not Pretty Deadly. Pretty bad. And then we went to the match. And you can see the miscommunication. Big boot by Duke Hudson. Lands it on Andre Chase. And, of course, it means that Pretty Deadly got the win. You can see afterwards they were all right. Like, it's not like there was a big breakup or anything. But, yeah, it was obviously heartbreak. I really wanted them to win the tag titles. But, yeah, shame. Roxanne Perez taking on Indy Hartwell next week. Indy Hartwell, for some reason, It's got lines above her eyes. It looks a little bit like a clown, but, you know, like a fun clown, like a cool clown. Not like just a clown. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's a look that I would keep, to be honest. Then Nikkita Lyons was like, look, when you guys have a fight next week against Toxic Attraction, I will be the third person if you need someone. So it seems like next week we're going to get Mandy, we're going to get Gigi, we're going to get JC, going to take on Katana, Kayden, and Nikkita is going to join up with them now. So, yeah, there's just a little segment here saying, look, I know we've had beef in the past, but I think you're cool. You think I'm cool. Let's be friends. And they were, and it was lovely. Then we found out that next week, the Iron Survivor Challenge competitors will be revealed by Shawn Michaels. So that'll be a big segment next week. And then we got to our main event. So Wes Lee emerged from behind The Rock. The Rock was on the show. Granted, it was like a fake boulder. I don't really know what this was. It sort of gave me Lion King vibes, but little weird. So he came from behind this boulder rock thing, and we got into the match. Good match. Didn't get loads of time, but still got around about 15 minutes or so. And it was a win for Wes Lee, which is good. Very good. To get a win over Carmelo Hayes is a very impressive result. He then stood up, as it said, and still North American champion on his graphics, but this kind of like jail door graphic closed on his name, and it was a bit like, what's going on? And all of a sudden, Donovan Dijak was in the ring. So T-Bar, Formula T-Bar, he was here, and this was a big moment. Big moment. Really cool. He looks cool. I think he looks cool. He looks like something out of a video game. And, yeah, a little bit botchy, to be honest, after this. This reveal was good. And he picked up Wes Lee, chucked him down. He was meant to do like a GTS type thing, but it was a bit botchy, to tell the truth. But it doesn't really matter. It's not a problem. I think he looks cool. And it's good that he's going after the North American champion. Hopefully he gets the win. I really want them to build him up as a massive star. Like, he could be a future NXT champ. He should be a future NXT champ. And hopefully we can find a gimmick that works, something that he can take to the main roster. Yeah, I'm excited. This was a big show. I mean, we got SCRYPTS, we got Donovan Dijak, we got some really good matches, we got some really good segments. Honestly, all in all, I would probably give this show an 8. I'd probably give it an 8. I was really entertained. Things like the Schism, I just didn't need that bit, to be honest. And a few other like little bits and bobs. But certainly, we got a lot of talking points tonight, and that's all I ever asked for. So, hope you enjoyed NXT. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.